Mason Rudolph just won a battle nobody was even sure was happening. And now, Mike McCarthy is making a decision that's turning heads across the entire NFL. He's benching his hot quarterback. Wait, what? Stick around because this Steelers quarterback situation just got a lot more interesting. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down a fascinating coaching decision out of Pittsburgh that's got fans buzzing, Mike McCarthy's quarterback plan for Friday's preseason clash with the New York Jets. On the surface, it looks confusing, but once you hear McCarthy's reasoning, it actually makes a ton of sense. Let's get into it. So here's the situation. A report dropped on Wednesday claiming veteran Mason Rudolph has taken the lead over 2025 rookie Will Howard in the race to be Pittsburgh's primary backup quarterback. And based on how the Steelers are approaching this Jets game, that report looks accurate. According to Chris Ward of Steelers Now, McCarthy confirmed that Will Howard will actually get the start against the Jets, with 2026 third-round pick Drew Allar coming in after him. So where does that leave Rudolph? Sitting this one out entirely. McCarthy's explanation was blunt and simple. I saw what I needed to see from Mason last week. Now, before we go further, no, Aaron Rodgers is not expected to play in this game either. And there's a storyline within that too, since the Jets were Rodgers' team for the 2023 and 2024 seasons. But Rodgers has made it clear all along that he treats preseason football as, in his words, not real football. At 42 years old, there's simply no reason for him to risk anything in an exhibition game. Here's what makes this quarterback rotation genuinely interesting, though. Heading into this week, most people assumed all three backup quarterbacks, Rudolph, Howard, and Allar, would each get their shot against the Jets, especially after how well they played in Pittsburgh's preseason opener against Green Bay on August 13th. Let's look at those numbers. Rudolph started that game and was nearly perfect, going 10 of 11 passing for 93 yards. Howard was solid too, completing 7 of 9 attempts for 86 yards. But Drew Allar, he stole the show. 10 of 13 passing for 153 yards, 2 touchdowns through the air, and he even punched one in on the ground. So why is McCarthy pulling back on playing Rudolph, the guy who's been the most consistent of the group? It comes down to development, not just performance. I think you understand they're young, McCarthy explained, according to Miles Simmons of Pro Football Talk. Will didn't get to play last year. Drew's a first-year player. I have 2 veterans I feel really good about, obviously with Aaron and Mason. I saw what I needed to see from Mason last week. I've talked highly about Mason really since the spring, so I want to max out the opportunities for both Will and Drew. In other words, Rudolph has already proven what he needed to prove. Now it's about giving the young guys as many live reps as possible before final roster decisions get made. And this is where things get even more intriguing. On Wednesday, Steelers insider Mike DeFabo of The Athletic reported that the idea of Pittsburgh carrying 4 quarterbacks on the roster is gaining momentum. If that ends up being true, it could ease some of the pressure. But if the Steelers only plan to keep 3, then Will Howard may essentially be fighting for his roster spot in real time, both in this Jets game and in the preseason finale against the Buffalo Bills on August 27th. So really, this isn't just a preseason snap count decision. This could be the moment that determines who makes the Steelers' 53-man roster at quarterback. What do you think? Does Howard do enough to lock up his spot, or does this become a training camp battle that goes down to the wire? Drop your predictions below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more NFL roster and depth chart coverage all season long, and I'll see you in the next one.